tell me more about it. And he described the whole event. And I said, well, what did you decide about you? I asked him. And he goes, well, I wasn't going to do that anymore. I said, no, that's not about you. That's about the situation. You just weren't going to play that way anymore. What did you decide about you? He's like, well, I just wasn't going to talk to my dad anymore. I said, well, no, that's about the situation still. He would not come to the point of deciding or figuring out what he had decided about himself. Now, when those people swam over the top of me and I kept thinking about it, and like, I think it was you that said that you felt small, or that you could see that I would feel small. And I said, yes, and I started throwing words in my mind about what was it that I had decided about me personally. And then when the word entered my mind of insignificant, it was like a bell rang. And I was like, that's exactly what I decided about me. Now, did those swimmers force me to decide that about me? No, that was all self-driven. That was all me doing that. And so there have been events in your lives where you have done the exact same thing. The word will be different, but you said, I am this. And so for all of you, if I just follow you around all day, I'll know some of your beliefs. I'll say, did you know that you did this 4 times today? And you're like, I did? Yes, you did. And this is likely the belief that is in there. Does it resonate with you? Do you know where it came from? And I'll ask questions. And I'll have clients who'll say, I know exactly where it came from. And they'll begin to start healing their own mind. Now, so this is work. This is not simple stuff. It took me almost 20 minutes to figure out I believed I was insignificant. But at the end of this sheet, it says, now that you know what you decided, does that belief still work for you? And the obvious answer is, no. It does not work for me anymore. So now you have to back it up with what? What is your new belief about you? Is insignificance good for you? No. What would you like your belief about you to be? Hey, I think I would like to be expansive. I would like to be trying new things. I would like to be whatever it is you like to be. It works for you, what you believe is good for you at this point. So I want to put power directly back into your hands about deciding what is good and what is not for you. Fair enough? Sounds simple, is simple, not easy. Okay, but you can do this. You all can. Sometimes you might need help. On the bottom here is where you can contact me if you do need to. Has my office number on there, has my website, and on here you can contact me. You can totally do that. If some of you would like my personal email address, I'm happy to give that to you. If ever you have a question, because I've done talks at other high schools and I have high school students, or email me, and I will dialogue with them. Please let somebody else know, though, if you're challenged with something. There are people out there, we all want to help each other. We really don't want to be awful to each other. Anybody here is ill will towards everybody? Good, no hands went up. Does everybody here believe themselves to be genuinely a good person? They just want to, exist and be happy in life? You all are it. When my wife and I got married, we went to a cool seminar and they said, remember that your spouse is a good-willed person. And they told the other person, hey, remember your spouse is a good-willed person. And when we would have some dialogues that would become heated, we'd have to remind each other, you know what, I know you're a good-willed person. You're not bent to be evil to me. We just have a disagreement. And that really belays a lot of issues and arguments in life. Now, I'm going to read a list to you. These are the top 10 mental health conditions. Depression, general anxiety disorder, panic disorder, phobias, social anxiety disorder, obsessive-compulsive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, brain fog, mental slowness, mental aberrations, hallucinations, apathy, nervousness, apprehensions, irritability, bipolar, fatigue, racing thoughts at night, insomnia, rapid heart rate, slow heart rate, paranoia. Does any of that sound familiar to anybody? A lot of us. Do you know what that list actually is almost identical to? The top B vitamin deficiency symptoms. What do we think we might be low in? B vitamins. Why? Becomes the question. Where do B vitamins, where are they found? In the gummy bears? In the gummy bears? Maybe. The Flintstones one.
missing out on vitamin C because all the gloom in Washington.
There, the gloom in Washington does it. I like it. So there is some things there to weather. We could say that there's some weather triggers. But as we look at like a gummy bear vitamin, we'll see that there's pyridoxine hydrochloride, which is B6, or monothiamine nitrate, or whatever, B1. These are all synthetics that they make from oil or coal tar. Do you need some more oil in your body? No, you don't. You really don't. And so B vitamins, where they come from was 200 or 300 years ago, we would bring in the crops, wheat, barley, things like that, and we would take them and crush up those little wheat berries, they call them, and we would make flour, and then we would make bread, and we'd make other things. When we crushed up that whole entire little kernel of wheat or wheat berry, there would be germ in there. And the germ is where all the whole nutrients are. Now, what they found out is that when these big industries that tried to create bags of flour and ship them out to people to buy and to make their breads and stuff, that once they crushed up all that wheat, the flour would go rancid in 7 days. Why? Because all those wonderful nutrients in the germ were mixed in, and that would allow other bugs to come in and want to eat it, and now it would just go rancid. So yeast would grow, funguses would grow, mold would grow. And so pests would come in and try to eat it, and then the flour would be moldy. And they said, man, we've got to do something about this, because we've got to feed how many people in America? Millions. And so we're going to remove the germ, which is all the whole nutrients, and just leave the white starch, which is technically packed sugar. So all of you, if you're eating any kind of bread, you're depleting your body of B vitamins constantly. It's like having a bucket with 200 holes in it. You know, your water is leaving your bucket really fast as you eat bread. So what should we do? Should we eat bread? No. People always ask me, well, is there a way to eat bread safely? I love sandwiches. I'm totally with you on that. So, now I just asked you for a tall order, didn't I? How many of you are going to go home and stop eating bread? Probably none of you. Because it tastes so good! I love donuts, by the way. That's my favorite. So bread is part of it. So could we limit the amount of bread that we eat, though? Yes. I want you to be very snobbish about your bread, though. Don't eat bread you don't like. If it's not a 9 or 10 on your scale of yum, then don't eat it. Don't waste your time. But could we put B vitamins back in the system? As you turn the page, you're going to see a couple sheets here. I have a gentleman that has been severely depressed for probably 15 years of his life. He came in to see me and I said, so how bad is he? He goes, I don't want to get up. I'm in bed for about 3 or 4 days. I don't want anybody to talk to me. My wife doesn't talk to me, nothing. I don't want to do anything. Feel like dying. I said, we're going to start you on a product. If you look at this list, do you see the one on the bottom that says niacinamide B6? That is my top product for depression. Why? Because it's B vitamins. And it's from liver. How many are you going to go eat liver? Nice. You know, if you like liver, go for it. Because liver is where the highest B content is on the planet. The upper two are different types of B vitamins. If we look at the middle one, it says Cataplex G, if you can find that. Anybody who has anxiety, you may circle that one. That will help you very much. The symptoms that are listed there are common, and I see them all go away quite nicely. So as I start plugging the holes in your bucket by trying not to have bread bleed it out, I'm going to start filling that bucket with things that are actually going to start helping your brain tissue repair. The brain tissue can repair, it can learn, it can expand, it can become smarter. The brain is incredibly plastic and can do amazing things. Do not underestimate your brain and your body's potential. It's awesome. And I see it every day. This gentleman, he's been seeing me about 8 years. He will not do anything else with his life. He's not willing to dig into his memories, because I think that's where a lot of his depression is coming from. But he goes, man, if I do niacinamide B6 1 or 2 a week, he goes, I'm doing pretty good. After 3 years of doing it, he says, Doc, am I ever going to be off this? And I said, not until you do other things. And he goes, I'm fine with a 1 or 2 a week. He can function, he feels great. Is that a win? Absolutely. Okay? So I have many depression people come in. This is the first product I give them. I just give them 3 or 4. I said, test these. And I said, on the morning you feel really bad, take 1 or 2. And they'll be like, what did you give me? I feel really good. I said, well, B vitamins make energy in your body. How many of you have been in biology and have learned the Krebs cycle or something like it? A couple of you. So we burn sugar, and as we burn sugar, we create energy. But we have to have B vitamins to run that process. And so as I give you good quality Bs that stay in the system and reuse themselves better, we now have a system that feels much better. Some of you that may have more significant depression, turn the page, the very last one. You'll see some herbal products. I don't do a lot of herbs because herbs are managers. They're not necessarily correctors. They will have some nutritive value, but they manage. We have a management system and we have a worker system. We need both. A big company, if it doesn't have any managers, does anything get done? Nope. If they don't have any workers, does anything get done? Nope. They're both required to make things happen. So sometimes I have to manage people with some herbs for a very short period of time until we get nutrients built up in their system, but they work quite quickly and quite effectively. So there are some good options. For those that have anxiety and depression, we can do quite a few things naturally.
Thanks for listening. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach Dr. Munson at 360-893-8586 or email him at chiroman@dr.com. That's chiroman@dr.com. Check out our current workshop schedule on Facebook at Infinity Whole Health.